Here's how to buy government seized property for anywhere between 50, 60, 70% below market value so that you can get a great deal on a property, own it free and clear through an unconventional way of getting into investment properties. Now, this channel is dedicated to tax liens and deeds. However, at the same time, there's government seized auctions that are happening as well for different reasons outside of the tax auction. So today we're going to look at a property that was seized for a reason that's going to become very, very clear as we get into it based on how big this mansion is that is going for just $110,000. But there's all sorts of seized properties you can get into for 5, 10, 20,000 that could be worth 50, 60, 100, 200 grand. And if you're a tax lien and deed investor with that skill set, this is like friggin' shooting fish in a barrel because it's much easier and much simpler. So I'm going to jump over and we're going to dive in with my business partner, Corey. Let's jump now. Joining me for this special edition is the one and only best dressed man in the tax lien and deed game, rocking the premium flamingo shirt with the faded glasses.
Ooh.
Mr. Hahn, are you ready to show these guys how to get some seized properties, what to do, where to go? And let's see, there's some pretty interesting properties here. And you're going to be able to use all of your tax lien and deed skills to go after these properties. And actually, they're easier than tax liens and deeds because a lot of the work is already done for you. So as a tax lien and deed enthusiast and investor, these can be some very low-hanging fruit that can actually be a little bit easier. So Corey, let's take these guys through how to find some seized property from start to finish. And let's look at some of these little gems.
Nice. Yeah. So you just go to Google. I just typed in seized property U.S. Treasury. Now, there might be other companies that seize properties, but this is the U.S. government one. Boom, takes you to this page. I just like to have my tabs left to right. So here we click on upcoming auctions. And now here we've got a bunch of properties that are up for sale. Now we've got March and then we've got, scroll down, we've got April here. It looks like it's just 2 months out. I imagine that there'll be more as the time goes on, but this is one that we want to look at, and I'm going to click into it, and then Dustin will throw it over
zoom
to
in
you.
a little bit. Let's just look at some of these details. So look at this property. This is a beauty of a property. So we're looking here, and let's just go take a look what the opening bids are, all sorts of stuff. Look at some details. We'll zoom in.
Nice.
So we can see this property's coming up. You have to put down a $20,000 deposit. The starting bid is $110,000 on this property. And from here, there is also an inspection time where you can go and inspect the property. So let's go take a look, and we can all make some assumptions on maybe why this property was seized. Actually, let me just give you a couple quick reasons why properties are seized. Okay?
I'll scroll through while you're doing it. It'd be like a slideshow.
Sure. Yeah. Okay, so some reasons properties seized. Well, first common is a tax deed. If they don't pay their taxes, it goes to the auction, doesn't sell, then the county has that property seized in their inventory. But the properties that we're looking at here were most likely seized perhaps for some illegal activities. Okay. So perhaps they were, doing some illegitimate businesses that the government did not see worthy, and they take that property. Maybe they have some criminal fines or penalties. Maybe there's some environmental violations, a little Walter White action going on those properties, a little Breaking Bad. Maybe there's a bankruptcy and the government has seized their assets. Maybe there's an eminent domain. They're seizing it for parks and roads, unpaid federal debts, perhaps beyond taxes, maybe some student loans or child support. There could be some custom violations. Maybe they're smuggling anything, or securities fraud, financial crimes, things like that, or counterfeiting things, printing some of those Benjamins in the basement, get caught down at the ice cream shop. And this is what can happen. So we're going to see, we're going to play a game called Guess the Seizure. And you guys can guess in the comments maybe why this property was seized. But by judging by this closet, there was a very extensive wardrobe here. This man had some taste in clothes.
Yeah.
So I've seen shows where these houses are owned by rhymes with Arco.
Yeah. Oh, that's great.
So let's see what this thing's worth. Opening bid.
Oh yeah. It was 110,000. Boom.
Mm-hmm.
And then if we go over here to Realtor, we can check it out and see that it is worth around this much money. Ooh,
581 grand is what this thing is worth. So at 580 and the opening bid is what? 120?
110. Yeah,
110, right?
yeah.
So what I love about tax lien and deed investing is it gives you the skill sets to be able to go after these properties, because if you want to pay full price for properties, you can do that all day long on Zillow. But if you want to get a deal or a property 40, 50, 60, 70% below market value, you need to do things that aren't quite as traditional. And to do that, you need a skill set to be able to do it. And that is where tax lien and deed investing is the ultimate skill set for going after some of these seized properties, because it's actually, to be fair, a little bit easier to go after seized properties because they're going to have an open house where you can go, you
Mhm.
can look at the property, you have plenty of time to do your due diligence, you can go inside, try on some hats. And from here, there's probably at least another $1 million buried in the yard that you can just get your
Yeah, exactly.
get your dog to go and try to find.
Yeah.
Um,
And
yeah.
liens, it says here, clear title will be transferred via government deed. Liens and other encumbrances will be paid by the government. Title insurance is available at buyer's expense. So basically, you're getting the property free and clear. You just got to pay for title insurance, which, as we know, if you've been around, never happens with tax deeds. So,
Yes.
yeah.
So closing will be held 45 days after. You need to look at all of the details, read the rules on these properties. So, like, this is a really cool example. And there's also like farmland as well at really good prices. We got a farm here. Corey, show us the farm.
Yeah, there we go.
So, I'm going to play a game in the comments here. What do we think this farm is for? We have how many acres?
I think it's 89 acres.
We have 89 acres. We have a giant power box. We have all of these greenhousey type buildings and a big house. So
Yeah.
let's play a game called Guess Why It's Being Seized. Earlier today, somebody came pretty close and guessed a banana farm.
Yeah.
So perhaps that is not allowed to grow your bananas.
Yeah. Oregon's against bananas. Yeah.
Exactly. But check this out, solid farm. You could own it free and clear. Same thing, 50K deposit. You got to wire in the funds starting. Wait,
Yep. 50,000 deposit. You're right. And then,
starting bid is 800 grand.
Oh, I
Oh,
read that wrong too earlier.
we read
Yeah.
it wrong.
Yeah.
So let's backtrack. But there are plenty of farms with starting bids. But man, property is expensive in Oregon. So if the opening bid is that much, this thing could be worth a lot more.
Yeah.
We made a mistake there, but getting the gist of it is
Yeah.
is very important.
89 acres is a lot of acres. That is a
Lot.
huge, well, yeah, for the normal people. For like,
Yes.
yeah.
Corey, I just want to research real quick while everybody's here.
Yeah.
I want to see the average acre cost. We'll do a little bit of live detective work here. Average acre cost in Oregon.
Oh,
So
interesting.
3,000. Interesting. Okay. So doing a little bit of live research here. This will require a little bit more. Is this property on any of those websites?
No, it's not because it's agricultural, I think.
Gotcha. So it's something to look into if you know farmland and dive into this property. We just wanted to show you guys a few seized properties that are here.
Yeah, it's interesting because it also depends on where it is too, right? It could be just that could be in a crazy spot, but yeah, interesting. Very interesting.
Yes. Excellent. Well, on that note, everybody, go and see what's available for seized properties in your area. Go search, see what's going on, start poking around on some of these sites. And from there, keep looking. So these are all upcoming auctions, properties that are coming up. You could go to this site here. Corey, what's the site?
It's it's the U.S. Treasury website. It's the official U.S. Treasury website, and you can just type in seizure U.S. Treasury.
Yeah, see what's going on. Start researching these properties, because if you're doing tax lien and deed investing, you have all the skills to do it. So from here, if you want to get started with tax lien and deed investing, go ahead below. There's a totally free mini course called the ABCs of Tax Lien and Deed Investing. It's going to get you started. And if you can learn how to research and do tax liens and deeds, you're going to be a full shark at these seizure properties. And then we also have the Tax Lien and Deed directories coming in. So we have all of the contact information for all of the Tax Lien and Deed counties. Remember, with tax liens, you can earn 18 to 36%. And then from there, with tax deeds, you can buy properties super, super cheap, and it will give you the skill sets. Everything is an on-demand training as well. ABCs get a deal within 30 days or less. That's all there for you if you click the description below. And then if you want some one-on-one mentoring, we can save you some time, save you some money as well, and just show you where to go, what to do, what not to do. So on that note, if you like this stuff, thumbs up, subscribe. Thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you on the next one.
See you guys.